Deribhilie, how are things?
Good.
We spoke to you, I can't remember, was it leading up to the first match or second match, but you were talking about how much you were looking forward to kind of getting back into the swing of things with Ireland. How have you found the last few weeks being involved in every game?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's been a challenging couple of weeks. I don't think there's any shying away from that, but at the same time, I've still really enjoyed it. I think there's like a brilliant group of players there, a really good management team around us as well, and we've been living off the buzz that's been around this championship. So, despite difficult results at times, we've been rallying around each other, and I'm just loving playing, to be honest. I think, despite the results, some of those matches, moments in those matches have been some of the proudest I've had in an Irish jersey. The way that we've banded around each other and kept going through some fairly rough patches throughout those games has been a credit to the girls, I think.
And do you think you're a better team now than you were 5 weeks ago?
I think for sure we are, yeah. I think there's a lot more cohesion and definitely a better awareness from everyone on how to work off of each other. Took us maybe a couple of games to get into learning how to play off each other a bit better. But we've been growing and definitely executing better than we have been in the earlier stages of this tournament. So I think that's a massive positive for us.
How will you go about approaching this week, where it's cup final rugby basically, but it's a cup final where you also have to score 4 tries?
I think, look, we just think about the performance as opposed to what the scoreboard has to look like. If you go chasing tries, you often kind of go away from the things that are going to build you up to getting to that point. So we'll be looking at, again, our set piece, getting that functioning. Our scrum and our maul have been excellent when we've gotten them going. So I think that's something that we'll be working on throughout the week, and just creating a platform for our backs as well. We haven't maybe given them as clean a ball as we need to. So it'll be very much performance driven, systems driven, same way we've approached every game. I don't think we go chasing a result in this. I think we go chasing a performance, and that should get us over the line.
And if you were to win this weekend but fall short of the 4 try mark, would you take much consolation from it?
Probably can't speak on behalf of the whole team, but I think any win is a win, and despite maybe that being a difficult, thing to swallow, that we have to take the wins when they come. And if it's off the back of a good performance, then, we have to take that as well. Like, what we're building towards is good performances, building towards creating that depth and experience in the squad. So each of those things is more important than anything else. You just keep building on that. Thank you.
I'll just ask you how you found the experience of playing in Cork and having that base and that good fan group behind you. Is that something that you enjoyed?
Yeah, I've absolutely loved playing in Cork. I'm probably about 15 minutes. Home is probably about 15 minutes from Musgrave as well. So really enjoyed that. Was able to go home for a roast on Sunday, so it's pretty good. But yeah, the fans have been absolutely incredible. And I think the support and determination that even the 5 and 6 and 7 year olds that are in the crowd, they don't care about scorelines, to be honest. And we've really, really enjoyed connecting with that group of supporters, and it's been massive. I think we had somewhere over 5,000 at that game. It's huge for women's sport, and for us as a group, seeing that support week in, week out has been incredible.
How important do you all as a group take that role as being ambassadors for women's sport and inspiring the next generation?
Massive. I think we've spoken about that as a group, that it isn't just about the group that are in here training week in, week out. It is about that next generation, and I know we talk about that a lot, but I think the squad take that responsibility quite seriously. We make a big effort to be out on pitch after those, challenging days, because at the end of the day, it is about what we represent and not just about those results. It's about keeping people playing, keeping the club game alive, keeping all of those supporters engaged, and showing them that we really appreciate all of the time they spend, and also the efforts that they put into, parents bringing kids to games, parents bringing kids to training. All those things, they feed into what the future of this sport is going to be for us, and we take massive pride in being able to represent ourselves well and to give momentum to that as well.
Thanks. You're not on a contract, is that right?
No.
No, and would you like, some outstanding performances from you in the Six Nations. Like, is that something you'd like to look into? Would you like to do something? Or
I suppose if they decide to, like I spent a good few years contracted with the Sevens squad, and like it was hugely rewarding. I don't think at the time there was any opportunity elsewhere to be a professional athlete, so I benefited from that massively, and I can see how beneficial it has been to a lot of the girls that are in here. When I took the small break, it was to kind of focus on, building a career outside of rugby as well. But I think the IRFU have developed a kind of contract system where it's possible to have other pursuits as well as your rugby career. So yeah, potentially, I think it's something that I'd have to speak to them about and see how it could work with college and stuff. But yeah, open to anything.
So you're in college at the moment, like, you're based here for the week then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's college. You don't have other work outside that, is it? Or?
Yeah, I went back to college at the start of this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And how, like, is this, the Six Nations, like, how has it been a test of you kind of mentally? I mean, we saw the way you came out after half time and like such a defined performance for in 30 minutes. But how has it tested you mentally, especially coming into the third consecutive game now for you this weekend?
Yeah, I think our resilience has been tested, but I think we've come out of that quite well. Like, I think we had, obviously nobody wants to lose the way that we did to England, but at the same time we showed that we were able to stick into a fight there, and like they're the second if not best team in the world, and despite that, like, we were disappointed, but we took the positives from it. And I think that's one big thing that we've had is, we have to learn from the things that we've done wrong, but we've also been really, really good at finding what has been positive and what has worked and building on that week in, week out. It's very easy to fall into a kind of trap of beating yourself down because of those results, but there are good things, and sometimes it's a challenge to find them and to build on them. But from a mental prep point of view, if you don't have those, and if you're not thinking, well, we can achieve and we can do positive things with the ball, it's very hard to go into a week. So I think that's been a real testament, especially to the younger girls who maybe haven't dealt with this sort of disappointment and the pressure cooker that is this environment. They've been exceptional.
And it's fun enough for me, like, the wooden spoon, just unthinkable. I mean, you showed incredible competitive moments on the pitch and everything, so that, seem to think you're unbelievably competitive. Is this wooden spoon thing just, like, how are you feeling about it? That, like, that possibly been handed to you?
Honestly, I haven't really thought about it in much detail, because at the end of the day we just have to go out and play each match. So yeah, it's in the background, and I know that there's been talks of it, and yeah, it'll be disappointing if that's the end result, but we just go out against Scotland to beat Scotland. That's all we can do. So I think that's the mindset. We just, again, stick to our guns, do what we know is our system, follow that process, and if we stick to those things and come out with a performance, I think that's a major positive takeaway. And again, it's the same thing. If we can find the positives in our development and not just back down because there are some negatives, that's still a win for me.
I know it was 4 years since Ireland actually played Scotland in Scotland. I suppose that was a big game for yourself, because I believe that was your first 15s cap.
Yeah, it was indeed. Thinking back to that game, was bit of a whirlwind. I was still in sevens at the time, so I think I was in Sydney on the Monday and played in Scotland on the Saturday following that. So this is definitely feeling a bit more prepared going into this one. Really looking forward to playing over there as well. Like, they have a record crowd as far as I'm aware, and they're a passionate bunch, same as ourselves, so should be a good atmosphere.
And I suppose, like, some of the players who were around you that time, like the likes of Senna Nyoku, Ali Miller, even like Claire Malloy, Perry Griffin, like, must have been players you kind of you were looked to from the outside, and then also get to play with them. Must have been pretty special as well. Yeah,
it was really, really special occasion. Like that, I think I still look up to a lot of those players. I know they're not playing at the moment or anymore, but they were kind of my role models, and I think that was a really special thing for me, is that, a lot of the sports I played growing up, you possibly didn't have a senior female role model in that sport. Like, I played rugby at under 12 with a boys team, and at the time I wasn't aware of any women playing. So the chance to take the pitch with them after having played in club with some of them as well was huge, absolutely massive, and to kind of learn from them about what it actually means and what it takes to get those results was a massive opportunity for me.
And I know she was in here just a while ago, obviously, Brittany Hogan, how you found inside her the last couple of games. Obviously, she stepped in for Georgia the last day.
Yeah, like Britt's an explosive player, so it's brilliant to play alongside her. We had a long career in the sevens together as well, so we've kind of learned how to play off each other. But it just goes to show that we are kind of building that depth as well. There's good competition in the back row, and that's something to be quite proud of as well. And you know, looking into the next couple of games, next couple of years, it's a good thing that we have that competition, that we're pushing each other on as well.
Can I ask, what's your favourite position? I think you asked this a few weeks ago when you were out here. What's your preferred position?
It kind of depends on the system. So like, I like playing in the edges, like to play on a bit of space and that sort of thing. So if we have edge forwards, I just prefer to be there, and we can adapt our system to allow for that to be specific players. But yeah, back row, generally speaking, would be where I'd like to be.